be sizing up on my gauges finally. I feel like it's been a hot ass minute since I've done this. So I'm currently at a 6 gauge. I know the last time I did a sizing up video, I think I was at a 10 gauge or an 8 gauge. I think it was at a 10 going to an 8, and I had to size up kind of like it was like an emergency size up because the backing of my gauge fell out, which was so fun, and I had just put the gauges in. Obviously, like, I don't want to size down, so instead of doing that, I size up to a 6 gauge, which I would not recommend to anybody at all. I did not go about it correctly whatsoever, which is why I did not document it, but I really could have caused myself a lot of damage to my lobe, but we didn't, so that's good. Bumping up from a 12 gauge to a 10 gauge was fairly easy. Bumping, I think, from a 10 to an 8 was pretty easy as well. It was the 8 to a 6 that had me like, what the fuck is this? And it made me a little nervous to bump up from a 6 to a 4. But here we are today, we're doing it. So let's get started. I feel like I've been talking a lot. Sorry, I just feel like I needed to explain that before moving on with the rest of the video. So now that that's all been said, let's move on with the rest of the video. Okay, I'm gonna try to stay in focus throughout this entire clip, but obviously first thing I'm gonna do is take out the gauge. This one's easy to take out because the backing is gone. And usually I would do this above a sink, but I'm just going to make sure the area is nice and clean. I'm just taking a clean washcloth. No soap, I just take like cool water and just make sure the area is clean. No, my piercing is not bleeding. I was like messing with my gauges last night. Now I'm just gonna loop up my ears. I use raw organic shea butter. I know some people use like vitamin E oil. There is a plane going by. That's beautiful. Happy travels, friends. Normally people will use like vitamin E, or I think like you can use cocoa butter or like shea butter. I think you can use coconut oil as well. So for those of you who don't know, this is the taper that is used to stretch your ears. Apparently, like, you're not supposed to use these as jewelry. I see a lot of people still do it, and like they say it's fine, but I don't know. I just, to each their own, I guess, but I just heard that it's not good to use this as jewelry. So personally I don't, but I just use these to stretch, and I want to get this nice and lubricated, so I just literally get it all over it, and also make sure my hands are clean, obviously. Wow, my camera would start to die right now. Okay, so same as I usually do. Little by little, poke it in and push down little by little without being too forceful. And it's alright to like pause for a second to like let your ear breathe, and then little by little start poking it again. Okay, so if we've reached the bottom pretty much, and now what I'm gonna do, looping up the actual gauge, I'm going to place that right at the front and literally just push that into my ear. So my camera ended up dying. It's been like 20 minutes, but I let it charge a little bit. Now I'm just gonna place the backing onto the back of the gauge. This was hell to put in. It was hell. It hurt a little bit. Well, not hurt, but it was a bit uncomfortable. Okay, so my camera battery died, but this has been sitting in my ear for about 20 minutes, just because it was feeling a bit uncomfortable. Now I am going to take the back of the gauge, as you can see, and I'm just gonna put that in the back to secure everything. So this is what the 4 gauge looks like as opposed to a 6 gauge. And of course I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. Please don't mind my hairy ass face. Your girl got a hairy face. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Okay, so the taper is lubed up. Just going to start tapping that into the ear. This one's going in surprisingly a lot faster than my left ear, which is interesting. Okay, I'm gonna like let it sit a second before I go in with the actual gauge because I don't want to irritate my ear. I've let it sit for a little bit. I'm now taking the lubricated gauge and just gonna place it right there, like, and literally just push. Like, the taper is, oh wow, that went in way easier than the other one. The taper kind of just helps as a guide to push the gauge through. So once that's in, I will put the backing on. And just like that, we are good to go. My ears are, it's been about an hour and a half, so they are fine now. They were feeling a little uncomfortable earlier, but we are good now. Thank you for tuning in, friends. Actually, I don't know if you want to see a close-up. This is how it looks close up. Pretty sick. I am excited. Okay, how do I zoom? Ow. Since we're zoomed in already, let's just take a moment to appreciate this liner. Oh, this one looks a little wonky, but it's all right. Anyways, friends, thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and with that being said, I hope to see you in my next video. Also, be sure to follow me on other social media accounts. I am a lot more active on Instagram and TikTok, so if you want to see more of me, check me out on there. But other than that, I am signing off. Bye, friends.